Fellow Americans, have you ever wondered how prepared you truly are for a catastrophic event? I'm here today, not just as your typical survival enthusiast, but as someone who is acutely aware of the threat of a potential attack on our mainland. This scenario, as terrifying as it is, requires us to face it with courage and strategic planning. In the chaos of a crisis, your decisions can either seal your fate or secure your survival. Today, I'll be revealing the 7 crucial actions to avoid during such dire circumstances. This isn't merely advice, it's your survival roadmap. So let me ask you this crucial question: what is your greatest vulnerability in a crisis? As we delve into these vital mistakes, pay close attention. 1. Do not panic and make a mad dash to public places for supplies. In moments of crisis, our instincts often scream to rush out and grab whatever you can, but hold on, this is one of the worst ideas. Instead of being helpful, these places often become centers of sheer chaos. Imagine the mayhem in grocery stores filled with frantic shoppers or gas stations with endless lines of worried drivers. It's not just about the risk of running out of essentials like paper and canned goods, it's about the very real danger of accidents or even physical altercations when tensions run high. Let's visualize the most extreme scenarios. If we're talking about a contagious disease outbreak or a chemical attack, crowded areas are the absolute last place you want to be. You're not only increasing your risk of exposure, but the chance of a stampede or other dangerous situations becomes very real. Then there's panic buying, the knee-jerk reaction that leaves store shelves as barren as a desert, taking away the opportunity for others, especially those who can't immediately run out, to get what they need. And let's talk about the frustrating traffic jams. These aren't just about sitting in your car impatiently, these could block emergency services or trap you in a risky area. So what's the intelligent move here? Always be prepared with emergency supplies at hand. Your preparedness kit isn't just a suggestion, it's your lifeline and should include non-perishable foods, water, medications, and basic first aid supplies. Keep a battery-powered or hand-crank radio so you can stay informed without putting yourself at risk. Remember to think ahead, evaluate what you genuinely need, not just what you want, and avoid hoarding. If you're out of options for where to find supplies, consider small local shops, community centers, or even online options if deliveries are still feasible. Timing is everything, and if you must venture out, choose less busy times like early mornings or late evenings. Always assess the situation. If it looks too tense or packed, step back and choose a different time or locale. Your safety is top priority. If the situation requires it, make sure you're properly equipped with protective gear like masks or gloves. Avoid any conflicts, stay focused and ready to adjust as needed. Your community could be your strongest ally. Do you have extra supplies? Think of your neighbors, especially the elderly or those vulnerable, and see if community efforts for shared purchases or distributions are viable. Keeping communication open with family and friends is essential. Let them know your plans and check on their safety as well. Utilize social media and community apps for real-time updates and to find resources, but exercise caution, ensuring not to spread any rumors or false news. Putting this strategy into action effectively tackles the first crucial mistake in a SHTF or enemy invasion scenario. Knowledge and preparation go a long way. Think smart, act wisely, and stay safe. 2. Remember not to overlook your physical and mental well-being. In the aftermath of a severe crisis or an enemy invasion, it's crucial to keep both spheres in balance. Why? Because your overall health isn't just about feeling okay, it's foundational to making smart decisions and staying resilient during difficult times. Let's explore some key blunders to steer clear from and practical tips on what you should be doing instead. First things first, avoid the trap of pushing your body to its limits without taking necessary pauses. Overexertion leads you straight into the land of exhaustion, and we aren't talking just tired eyes and a weary body. The real danger lies in how fatigue can derail your judgment and decision-making process, which is critical in high-stakes scenarios. Plus, your immune system can get hammered, making you susceptible to illnesses. So take a breather. During a crisis, even short, quality rest periods are vital. Prioritize sleep. It doesn't just replenish energy but fuels your strength and endurance, helping you remain robust. Let's shift gears to your mental health, a facet that's easy to ignore but carries an impactful punch. The psychological ramifications of crises aren't any less severe than the physical. Ignoring these can open the floodgates to anxiety, depression, or even PTSD, sabotaging your coping abilities and decision-making. But worry not, there are ways to tackle this. Face feelings head-on, talk about them openly. Engage in stress relief practices like meditation and breathing exercises, and cling to routines as they foster a sense of stability. Moving on, there are more insights to keep your body and mind in robust condition. Diet plays a pivotal role here, so don't neglect balanced meals, no matter the situation's severity. Ensure you're fueling your body with diverse nutrients, and staying hydrated. Dehydration can cause fatigue and foggy-mindedness. Incorporate light exercise to uplift both your physical fitness and mood, serving as a formidable stress reliever. For mental health, communicating the storm swirling inside you is crucial. Discuss what you're enduring, sharing it with trusted allies and close ones. It genuinely helps. Try delving into mindfulness methods like yoga, which can strip away stress layers. However, be wary of drowning in the news and social media. It's good to stay informed, but overindulgence can skyrocket anxiety levels. Don't hesitate to seek professional mental health assistance if things feel overwhelming. These experts equip you with tailored strategies to manage your situation. Cultivate a robust support network by staying connected with friends and family, as it's instrumental to mental well-being during crises. Get anchored in what you can control. Set small, manageable goals that offer a sense of achievement and grip on your life. Lastly, embrace self-compassion as part of your arsenal. Feeling overwhelmed is natural, and it's okay to not be at your peak all the time. By implementing these steps, you're safeguarding not only your health but also your capability to tackle crises effectively, crucial for forging resilience and recovery for the long haul. 3. Don't embrace a lone wolf mentality. Listen closely, because this is crucial. Especially for those in the US, an unexpected major event like an enemy invasion or a massive crisis demands a collective approach, not just an individual one. We're diving into critical territory here, so let's nail down what absolutely not to do. First up, don't underestimate the power of community and cooperation. Sure, acting solo might seem appealing, but it's a recipe for disaster. Isolation cuts you off from vital support and resources. Going solo is chaotic and inefficient. You'll face limited skills, less security, and depleted supplies faster than you think. A lone wolf mindset isn't just risky, it's incredibly short-sighted. Such an approach ignites distrust and limits cooperation, creating potential conflicts over dwindling resources. Talk about a needless headache. This attitude fractures social cohesion, intensifying conflict and slowing our collective response to myriad challenges. Isolation leads to missing crucial updates, shared resources, and the myriad skills found in a diverse community, wildly increasing your vulnerability. You'll miss out on timely aid and support, plus the mental strain of volatility adds unnecessary stress. So, what's the better play? Dive into your community and engage actively. Become involved in community functions, volunteer, and understand what skills and resources are on hand. This proactive participation builds a trust-filled support network. Elevating community engagement isn't just courteous, it's strategic. It's about smarter resource allocation and strengthening our social framework, a shocking advantage when things go south. Keep those lines of communication wide open with neighbors and fellow community members. Share whatever you can, be it information, supplies, or an empathetic ear. Remember, it's reciprocal. Be open to receiving assistance too. This reciprocal aid fortifies a resilient support network. Offering your skills adds immeasurable strength to the community's capacity to tackle challenges, while learning enhances everyone's adaptability. Plan comprehensively with collective input. Coordinates emergency preparedness meetings, streamline strategies, pool emergency supplies, and set up robust communication channels. When unified under a common strategy, we're positioned to tackle any emergency effectively. Promoting inclusivity and leveraging diverse perspectives not just reduces conflicts, it enriches our pool of solutions. Different backgrounds contribute to innovative resolutions and enhance communal strength, turning diversity into a comprehensive asset. Practice empathy by keenly observing others' situations, offering support readily, and being willing to accept it when necessary. Forge strong emotional bonds, cultivating resilience and adaptability during crises. Stay informed and share credible details, ensuring the community makes informed decisions in emergencies. Encourage active leadership and participation, fostering democratized decision-making and enhanced communal initiatives. Lastly, instill a culture of preparedness and collective resilience. Regularly engage in simulations and workshops that heighten our readiness. Prepare collectively to minimize panic and maximize recovery capabilities. Let's capitalize on the power of community to face crises head-on with strength, coordination, and confidence. 4. In the chaos of a crisis like an SHTF scenario, or worse, an enemy invasion, the importance of clear and reliable communication cannot be overstated. Yet, what often leads to peril is the rampant spread of misinformation. Think about it: misinformation behaves like a wildfire fanned by panic, leading to disastrous decision-making. Relying on a single news source, or, even scarier, unverified hearsay, can lead you straight into harm's way. It's a surefire recipe for making decisions that could jeopardize your safety and the safety of those around you. Another pitfall is the breakdown of our expected communication channels. we often forget that our smartphones and internet access might be the first luxuries to disappear in a disaster. Overloaded networks and damaged infrastructure can cut you off from the outside world right when you need to connect most. If you're hanging all your hopes on mobile connectivity, you might find yourself isolated and uninformed just when you need critical updates. Keeping abreast of accurate, timely information is your lifeline. Falling behind could leave you and your loved ones ill-prepared as the crisis evolves. This, in turn, breeds confusion, one of the most dangerous states to be in during a crisis. Not knowing how to adapt to the rapidly changing circumstances can leave you vulnerable. Moreover, getting stuck without trustworthy information wreaks havoc on your psychological well-being. Your anxiety shoots through the roof as panic takes hold, turning a dire situation into a nightmare. So, what's the game plan to dodge these traps? Diversification, my friends. Bank on a variety of reliable information sources. Stay tuned to both local and national news updates, keep track of official government statements, and vet online resources for credibility. A battery-powered or hand-cranked radio is not just vintage, it's essential. When the power is out and the internet has given up, a radio can be your informational savior. Always cross-verify information from multiple trusted sources and stay skeptical about sensational headlines, particularly those from unfamiliar outlets. Don't underestimate the power of a well-thought-out communication strategy. Establish a foolproof plan with your family or survival group to communicate when typical methods fail. Draft a hard copy of emergency contact numbers, don't just rely on digital storage. Walkie-talkies can be a lifesaver for short-distance communication if cellular networks are down. Designate a physical meeting spot for regrouping in case you can't establish contact digitally. Regular preset check-ins with your group or family members ensure everyone stays informed and reassured about one another's safety. Contributing to the chaos by spreading unreliable information is a no-go. Share responsibly and only circulate news that you've verified. Lastly, stock up on power backups like portable chargers and extra batteries. Keeping devices running can provide critical access to information and updates. Also, familiarize yourself with local resources. You never know when community platforms might offer crucial assistance. Stay alert, stay active, and most importantly, stay informed. 5. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that a few basic survival skills are enough to see you through an SHTF situation or enemy invasion. Yes, being able to defend yourself or light a fire in the wild is crucial, but that's just scratching the surface. Picture a crisis as a formidable opponent in a chaotic arena. You need to be prepared for anything it throws at you. More than just the warrior spirit, you'll need the smarts too. Can you purify water? Fire up a generator? Tend to a wound? These might not be as glamorous as wielding a sword, but trust me, they can be the real game changers when things go south. Think of your skills like a Swiss Army knife. Would you want one with just a blade? Of course not. Now, when it's time for survival, it's about learning and evolving. If you think you've got it all figured out, you're gearing up for a rude awakening. Post-disaster, the world doesn't hold still, it transforms rapidly. Without continuous learning, you're like an outdated operating system, ready to crash. So why is all this crucial? For one, real-world crises are chaotic. They don't stick to a set script. Anything from getting clean water to treating injuries could be on your task list. With half-baked skills, you're walking into a storm with just a flimsy raincoat. It's like fielding a soccer team with only strikers, no defense, no strategy. Survival is a team sport, and you need a full squad: the strategist, the problem solver, the negotiator, and yes, the fighter too. And let's talk adaptability. If your approach is as rigid as a brick wall, good luck breaking through when things go sideways. Survival is about staying sharp, both in mind and abilities. So what's the plan to become crisis ready? First off, hit the books or the digital courses. Expand your toolkit. Be it first aid, mechanical know-how, agriculture, or water purification. And don't skip over the soft skills like effective communication and conflict resolution. In tense situations, talking down a threat could be as critical as any hard skill. Keep honing these skills. They're not just for storing on your mental bookshelf. Practicing regularly keeps them ready at hand. Whether it's workshops, courses, or online learning, keep yourself in the loop. If you've got a family or group, devise a plan. Let everyone bring something unique to the table. It's about building a resilient team, not a group of clones. Stay open to new experiences and scenarios. Practice thinking dynamically and making the most of what you have. This mental flexibility could save the day when curveballs inevitably come your way. Lastly, forge strong connections with those around you. Getting to know people with diverse skills and backgrounds builds a safety net. In camaraderie lies strength. Pooling collective resources and expertise can be a lifeline. And remember, mental resilience is just as vital. Stay calm in chaos and maintain your emotional fortitude. The strongest survivalists aren't just the fittest, they're the ones who keep a clear head when the world seems altogether unraveled. In the unpredictable arena of crises, a diversified, constantly evolving set of skills is more than a luxury, it's a necessity. So start bulking up your skill set, embrace learning, and foster community ties. Be the person who's ready for whatever challenge comes next. 6. When disaster strikes, resisting the urge to run can save your life. In a potential SHTF scenario or an enemy invasion, every decision could be the difference between safety and peril. Before we dive into what you should do, let's debunk a common misconception: evacuating hastily without a solid plan is a harmful move. It's absolutely vital for every American to grasp this, as an ill-timed evacuation can lead to more peril than staying put. When faced with chaos, our first instinct is often to bolt, seeking refuge anywhere but here. But let's consider for a moment the possible chaos that this decision could entail. Picture this: roads jammed with frantic escapees, overwhelmed with traffic, potentially blocked or compromised, and exposing you to increased vulnerability. In such a scenario, fleeing puts you right in harm's way, when what you need most is security. Furthermore, venturing out aims you at unforeseen dangers. The circumstances outside your door may be far worse than those within your home or shelter. Leaving suddenly also means abandoning your stockpile of critical supplies. In any significant crisis, securing essential resources like food, water, and medicine becomes a staggering challenge, especially if supply chains crumble. The communication factor cannot be overlooked either. On the run, maintaining up-to-date information and staying connected with loved ones becomes exponentially more difficult. This isolation can compound the stress of an already tenuous situation. Speaking of pressure, the mental toll of a rash evacuation is significant. And it clouds judgment, driving impulsive decisions that may not be in your best interest. So how do you tackle this? Start by properly assessing your immediate surroundings. If there is no direct threat to you or your home, staying put may be the wisest choice. Make sure your dwelling is well secured. Safety lies in locking doors, securing windows, and avoiding exposed areas. Ensure you've amassed crucial supplies: non-perishable food, a water reserve, first aid essentials, personal medications, and items of sentimental value. Maintaining a trustworthy communication line is paramount. Rely on a battery-powered radio to stay informed through credible news sources. Should circumstances force an evacuation, strategic planning is your ally. Map out escape routes and secure a destination: a pre-arranged safe house, a relative's dwelling, or an official shelter. Always leave word with someone about your intended course, be it family, friends, or emergency services, so there's accountability for your whereabouts. 7. Neglecting cultural and knowledge preservation. In times of crisis, such as SHTF scenarios or even an enemy invasion, one of the most overlooked aspects is preserving culture and knowledge. Picture this: amid chaos, it's easy to focus solely on immediate survival: food, water, and shelter. However, if we neglect our cultural heritage and accumulated wisdom, we risk losing a vital part of who we are as a society, potentially for generations. Why does this matter? Because our stories, traditions, and historical lessons are the threads that weave us together. They shape our identity and give us the strength to persevere through adversity. So rather than letting culture and knowledge fall by the wayside, we should actively work to preserve them. Maintaining libraries, sharing folktales, and ensuring crucial survival skills and histories are passed down can fortify our community. Consider the necessity of creating a knowledge bank. This could be as simple as a shared notebook or a digital archive, assuming electricity is a luxury you still have. This repository should include practical knowledge: think first aid techniques, basic mechanics, or herbal remedies, and cultural elements like local myths or historical accounts. Passed on through workshops or storytelling sessions, this knowledge becomes invaluable currency in a world turned upside down. In addition to the intangible, we must mind our resources. Sustainable resource management is crucial. Overuse of natural resources without thought for the future is a surefire way to invite further calamity. It's about using our assets wisely, practicing responsible land use, conserving water, and recycling materials. By doing so, we ensure the availability of these resources for future generations. Lastly, adaptability and innovation serve as the lifeline of resilience. Change is the only constant in a post-crisis world. Being open to new methods, remaining flexible, and thinking creatively provide the edge needed to overcome unanticipated challenges. Networking with other communities for mutual support and resources, while sharing best practices, can further bolster efforts in survival and preservation. In conclusion, preparing for SHTF scenarios or an enemy invasion requires broad awareness and strategic planning. Avoiding common pitfalls such as panicked evacuations, neglect of skill development, and disregard for cultural and knowledge preservation can be the difference between survival and peril. Focus on fortifying your environment, preserving essential resources, and maintaining steady communication channels. Appreciate the importance of long-term survival skills and make sure to foster strong community ties and cultural continuity. By staying vigilant, adaptable, and informed, you position yourself and your community to not only endure challenges but to emerge stronger and more cohesive than before.